bewitchment. Robokoto Sutunda Yanamasata. He says, I am freeing my children from the spells. Robokoto Sutunda Yanamasata. He says, the spells of witchcraft are bombarding them. Kurobo Sutunda Bayanamasata Koto Sutu. He says, creating foxholes, creating vaults. Robokoto Sutunde Beki Arabasanda Bakuto Sutu. To try to capture them. Robokoto Sutunda Yanamasata. To try to captivate them. Rebendidibikito Sutunda Bakata Bakatsu Sutsu Rebendidibikito Sutu Koto. He says these hexes Robo Sanda Bakatu Sutu Korobo Sotunda Bayana Masata Rebendidibiki Abasata were created to trap them. Robokoto Sutunda Yanamasata. He says they are pronouncements. Robokoto Sutusata. He says they are evil decrees. Robokoto Sutupo Robosata pronounced upon the people. Rebende de Bikita Basata to trap them in a hole. Rabanda Bakata Sato Korobo Sutunda Yanamasata. Rendering them Robokoto Sutu unable to break free and to break forth. Rebende de Bekisha Rabasata. But he says the light of my presence. Robokutu Sutsu. Rebendidibiki Arabasata. He says the everlasting light that shines within me. Robokutu Sutunda Bakata. He says it breaks forth and it breaks free. Rabakato Sutsu Kutu Kutu. From all hexes, from all spells. Rabanda Bakatu Sutsu Kutu. He says from all curses. Rabanda Bayana Masata. He says from all bewitchment. Korobo Sutsu Kutu Kutu Kutsu. Rebendidibiki Arabasanda Vayana Masata. He says at the heart of the matter. Robokutu Sutu. He says it's my ruach. Rebendidibiki Arabasata. He says it's my excellent spirit. Robokutu Sutunda Yana Masata. He says that is at work. He says creating escape routes for my children. He says he says with divine wonders. He says these experiences to encourage the judgment of the Most High God to shine and to break forth in the life of the people, in the lives of the people, in the lives of my children. He says, I am breaking forth. He says, I am breaking the barriers. He says, I am shining forth and shining through. He says, I am removing the shackles. He says the mounds, the heaps of dirt. He says the piles. He says the grave digging will stop. He says I am breaking their hands, their arms, and their legs. He says the wickedness that's continuing to be perpetuated against my children. He says I am slaughtering them. He says in even shares. He says in even amounts. He says I'm circling the evil. He says I'm circling the evil beds of affliction round about my people is what he says. He says I am demolishing the traps. He says he's rectifying these evil devices, being perpetuated against my children. He says, these wicked ones will feel the heavy hand of my affliction. Korobo sutunda bayana masata. Upon their chest, he says, and upon their necks. Karabasete kiyorobo sutu. Kanda bayana masata. Hallelujah. Oh, Abba Yahweh, we're so grateful to you. We're so thankful. We're so grateful and we're so thankful. We pray that your word will not go upon deaf ears, but it will accomplish that which you predestined for it to do before the foundations of this earth. We thank you that you're such a loving God. You're such a kind God. You're such a gracious God. Thank you for looking out for us on all